Hi, welcome to Tutorial 2. My name is Yin and I will be taking you through the knowledge, action, and reflection phases of a learning experience. If you haven't done so already, it is highly advisable for you to watch Tutorial 1 first before proceeding with this one. Okay, now let's begin. In the knowledge phase, you will include any relevant information that is connected to the school syllabus that you have chosen. If you remember, the syllabus content for this particular learning experience is about pressure and turning on a pivot. Thus, information about pressure is included here. Information in the knowledge phase must be relevant to what you are going to talk about in the action and reflection phases. For instance, if you talk about pressure here under point A, then your questions under the action phase in point A must also be connected to the information provided in the knowledge phase. In the action phase, please provide directions to point A. For example, point A here refers to any spot with interlocking bricks in a temple. I've included a picture of an example spot here for learners to follow. Next, start with factual questions. Factual questions are fact-based and can be easily verified. For example, questions such as, "What do you see?" "What type of tree is this?" or "What are the measurements of the space?" are all factual questions, as the answers can be easily found or derived. Here, the learners begin their learning experience by measuring the dimensions of a brick. The answers are in red. After having found the measurements, they are asked to refer back to what they have learned in the knowledge phase about pressure and to calculate the pressure exerted by these bricks. Once they have done so, the questions become progressively more difficult as they go from being factual to conceptual questions. For example, after measuring the pressure of these bricks, the learners in this LE are then asked to think about pressure exerted by Borobudur Temple as a whole. Conceptual questions cannot be so easily verified as they require the students to use critical thinking skills in order to come up with an answer or a solution. The progression of your conceptual questions must always lead back to the inquiry statement. In other words, how do these questions help your learners to understand or prove the inquiry statement? Last but not least is your reflection phase. This is the last step of the learning process for your learning experience. You are required to have only one debatable question per LE, and it can come under any of the points, whether it be point A, B, C, D, and so on. Questions under the reflection phase are debatable, meaning they are subject to opinion and allow learners to have different perspectives and opinions on the topic. Let's take a look at the debatable question for this learning experience. To what extent do you agree with the following statement? It is more important to conserve a historical site by making structural changes rather than attempting to maintain the authenticity of it. Here, the debatable question ties back into the conceptual lens and inquiry statement in terms of the relationship between scientific and technical innovation and conservation. Once all is done, be sure to adjust your document where necessary. This may include the proper use of alignments, bold, and italics. A gentle reminder is that our platform does not accept underline and strikeouts, so be sure not to use them in the construction of your document. It is also highly advisable that you cross-check for content or grammatical errors. Sharing it with your friends for peer review can help improve your LE or perhaps gain a different perspective. Remember, we are encouraging an open environment, so we hope that you practice the same too. Once you feel that the LE is completed, send it in to our helpful team for reviewing. We will then vet the document and return it to you in about 7 working days. Upon receiving the vetted document, be sure to check for any comments written for further correction and improvements. After completing that, your learning experience is finalized and is ready to be posted up officially. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and good luck.